Hey guys, it's Purple Tulip X here. Today I'm making another video. As you can see, my hair is very blonde right now. I'm gonna be dyeing it to blue. I do have like a couple other dyes that I was considering doing, but I think the one I ended up going with was like this. It says Shamrock, which Shamrock's usually on a green. Well, that's really not popping up good. um, it looks so purple on camera, but here with me it looks like a blue. I don't know, maybe I'm colorblind. But I ended up getting it from this like dollar bins like place. I'm not gonna be wearing gloves because like I just bought it there. It didn't come with like a box or gloves or anything. I also don't feel like spending extra money on that. But I know it's gonna end up dyeing my hands. Ooh, I should probably split my hair from the middle. I know like usually when dyeing hair they say to like split it in like 4 parts or whatever. Or at least that's what like Brad Mondo says. Shout out. But that's not what I'm gonna be doing because I do not feel like parting my hair into 4 parts. I will say this does smell really good. Like it honestly smells like more of like a fruity like gel almost rather than like a hair dye. But hopefully it pops up more of a hair dye. Yeah, I know it comes with like a I don't know, a cone or whatever you want to call it. Like a tip, that's what I'm looking for. But I always feel like the tips are so hard to use. Cause like right where I need like globs of hair dye, like the tip just wants to dispense like a little bit. I'd rather just like dump into my hands and like massage it that way than like wait the 30 seconds to like get it out the tip. Peep the Mario shirt. I went and seen the Sonic 3 movie the other day. And I will say, like, not to be a hater, but like, it was not as good as what I was hoping. Like, the second half of it was like pretty good, I will say. I feel like pretty much right after like they introduced like Sonic or Robotnik, like Dr. Eggman, whatever you want to call him. I feel like that's when it started getting a bit better, but like before that, I don't know. It just reminded me of like, and I get it, it's a kids like movie, but like it really just reminded me of like Sonic Boom, but like a watered down version of it. Which, like, to be fair, it makes sense why it would remind me of Sonic Boom because, like, they're both for kids. But I also feel like the Sonic movie is really geared towards, like, all ages, not just kids. But like, I just felt like it was rather boring. Like, you just had the two parents, which I don't really care for the parents. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that, like, as a fan of the franchise, but, like, I was never very sold on them. Like, I think in the first and second movie, they were, like, less annoying. Like definitely in the third, like watching, I was like, okay, like these people don't appear to have a personality. um, but I could just be tripping. I also could be like being hypercritical of it. I also think like one of the best scenes, like I feel like most people probably think this, was the like Dr. Eggman and his grandpa dancing. I will say the predictability of it though was pretty high. Because as soon as like he met his grandpa, I'm sure like every other like adult or like teen person, at least someone that was like older a bit, like predicted that he was gonna end up like turning on Dr. Eggman. I will say it was very surprising because like I don't know who has or hasn't watched the uh not watched but like played the other games and stuff. Like I have not. Like Sonic was the movies were like my first iteration of like getting into the franchise. But I think that might be why I have like problems with certain parts of it is because I didn't get to play the games, so I can't really see how accurate it might be to like how they reacted in other stuff or like how they more so acted rather than reacted. I thought Shadow was really cool though. But like I was so disappointed when it was Amy introduced instead of Rouge. Cause like I'm not gonna lie, I'm like a big Rouge person. Like Rouge is awesome. Like she's super cool to look at. Like she definitely acts pretty cool. Like she's just pretty much the girl version of Shadow in my opinion. Which Shadow most people would say is the coolest character in their opinion. I mean, I'm not saying everyone would say that, but I feel like a good majority of people would say that. Like, okay, so why would Amy be better? Because like Amy's just like a more girlified version of Sonic. Like I can't speak on Omega too much because like I haven't played the games like I said, so I don't really know much about Omega. I heard a lot of people talking about like oh they were hoping that Omega appeared. Like I know I've seen like pictures of the character, but like I haven't actually like experienced anything of like seeing how they behave, seeing what the reactions to stuff are, like seeing the character like fighting or anything. Like I haven't got to experience the character. So I can't really like voice my opinion on Omega too much. Um we'll see. It looks to me like it's dyeing my hand a lot more than my hair. Rather weird, but okay. I did, like I said, got this hair dye at like a Dollar Ben's place. Pretty much a store. It's called Dollar One. I think it's in like Wooster, Ohio. Not saying my location, but I will say the location of the store. um, but it's a really good place to go to, except like if you struggle with owning stuff, like owning too much stuff, then I wouldn't recommend going there. Just because like usually I forgot what day it is. It's Wednesday. Wednesday they do Dollar Day. So like anything you find in these like Amazon return bins, you could get for $1. Which like especially if you look around, like you might find some really good stuff. Which it's like it could get tempting to buy a lot of good stuff. But it's never like the stuff you really need at that moment. Because if you really needed it, you would have just went to a store and bought it. So it's like, okay, like I can appreciate the store, but like when you own a lot of stuff and you're seeing a good deal, like most people aren't capable of telling themselves no to that. That's like the bigger issue with the store. Like there's tons. It's not so much that store in particular. Like it's just like that like type of store. Cause like I've seen other stores like that, like bins and stuff that did like similar things, but like I never really shopped at those per se. So like I can't really speak out about them too much. So that's why I'm not like name dropping like 10 different stores to like complain about. Which really I'm not complaining. I'm just like giving more of like a fair warning. I will say I definitely got my fair share of stuff, like good stuff on there. I one of my favorite things I got on there well, at there was a Nintendo Switch controller. So it was like a wireless one. Um that ended up working. Like they have like a little station there to like try like things with batteries and like things that need plugged in so you're not like spending money, especially like on some of the more expensive days. Like they have like an $8 day and stuff where you could go and then anything you find in the bins is $8. Which is fine if you're getting two things, but you're not gonna get a cart full of things that are $8 each unless you have that type of money. um but I also heard they tend to have a lot better stuff that day because like that's when they get like truck and stuff. So like all their like fresh good items that might be worth 50 are for 8. But this looks like it's dying in all the wrong ways. My hair was originally brown. That's my natural color. It's like a dark brown. But obviously I bleached it to like get to a blonde. Just because I like doing my hair. I know going to the salon you'll typically get better results. But I also know like sometimes you end up paying $200 and then you see videos of like people going home and crying after because they weren't happy. Like granted, some of those people like should have just like stood up and said something like, "Oh, like bro, I'm actually not happy. Like, can you change up what you're doing?" But like I also get it, like especially like nowadays, like you say anything and you're afraid that like someone's gonna like straight up call you a Karen and like make a video of you. But like I feel like typically it's not that bad as long as you're like not going absolute off. But some people just don't want to work with you. Sometimes like you feel like you have to go off to get heard. That's the issue, is like it's such a double-edged sword that it's sometimes hard to know what to do with that. I don't know if you could see, it's coming in definitely now, but it's also coming in really patchy. I'm hoping it like evens out more throughout like rinsing it and doing it. It's really hard to see on camera. My blue hand isn't making it any better. Feel free to check out my other videos. I can't add links, I'm not that advanced with it, but just like click on my channel down below and like watch my other videos. I definitely don't have like a certain thing I go for. I kind of just like mix and match and do everything. The one thing you can depend on being the same is my personality. I have a lot of personality. um, but yeah. I was originally planning on doing more of a purple. I don't know if you could like tell, but I do tend to go a lot better with more of a purple than a blue. Even though I've heard that I look really good with blue. I thought the blonde looked pretty, but I don't know, I just felt like changing it. This might be the end of the bottle. Tips for anybody else doing the hair out there, I would recommend wearing gloves. Also, I haven't really did this, so I can't say if it's really that good of a thing to do or not. But I've heard that using Vaseline like around your hairline will prevent like staining and stuff. As you can see, like I got a little bit of blue on my head. I don't know if it actually works or not. I've just heard that it was pretty good. I know, like especially with splat, your like whole forehead's gonna be like whatever color you're trying to make your hair. It's like pros on you if you're trying to reduce your forehead, but it also does end up looking that good. Alright guys, I'm about to see you in a little bit. I'm gonna let my hair sit a little bit longer and rinse it out, probably style it a bit, and then I'll get back to you.